What up, everyone? Happy Monday. Thank you guys so much once again for tuning back in here for a fresh trading week, and let's get right into another recap here. So today's recap is going to be short and sweet because I didn't take many trades today, as you'll see, but yeah, just wanted to start with that. But I only had 13 orders on the day today, and if you'll notice, I only took one trade on SQs, which I'll cover why and why I ended up switching back to TQs. But as far as how I did on the day, it was a red day, but it was definitely manageable, right? I was down $19 on TQs and only $10 on SQ, so down not even 0.5% of my usual wiggle room I give myself, right? I'll allow myself to be down 1% on the day, and today I was able to manage it, right, and only lose like around 0.3%, so happy about that. But definitely very unfortunate today. Like, absolutely sucked when I saw the trades back later now. I didn't even realize how unlucky I got, but I'll go ahead and cover that. So here's how the Nasdaq traded on the day, and right around here was when the market was opening up at 6:30 in the morning. So right when the market opened up, I actually decided to initially take a play on TQQQ, thinking the market was gonna push up, right? And anytime I say I'm going to try a trade on SQQQ, that means I'm thinking the market, the Nasdaq, is going to sell off, right? Because anytime the market sells off, SQQQ pushes up and vice versa, right? Anytime the market pushes up, SQQQ pushes down. So when SQ is pushing down, you can always buy into TQQQ, right? I can show you guys right now. It's going to look exactly the same as the Nasdaq. Pay attention to the patterns, right? If my computer will load, right? If you'll notice today, the pattern looks exactly like how the Nasdaq played out, right? And that's not a coincidence at all. So I decided to try a play on TQQQ because right around here when the market was opening up, I did see that there was a support right around this general area, right, trying to form. The market, anytime it got rejected right around here, it kept having a nice little bounce, and I thought they was just showing signs it wanted to find a support here. So I bought in with a quarter of TQs, and as it started going up, I believe I averaged up one time, even though it was a little premature, right? Because it got rejected here multiple times before, and the market ended up pulling back and I got stopped out. So you'll notice at the exact time that my trade on SQs was at 7:06 in the morning, right? If you go ahead and look at the Nasdaq, why does it make any sense I would buy in at 7:06, right? Here's the timestamp, and that is right around here. And if you'll notice, I decided to take a trade on SQs once I saw that there was potential patterns showing that the market wanted to sell off, right? Even though the market did try and find a support, it got rejected here pretty strong, and once it broke through that support it was struggling to break, I decided to start looking again to SQs, right? Because the market now was trending below the blue EMA line here, and on top of that, it just made a lower low, right? It finally broke the support level and made a lower low, and that could have been definitely showing signs that the market wanted to keep selling off. So I was on the lookout for that, and as you'll notice, I ended up cutting my trade on SQs, right? I only bought in with a quarter, but I ended up cutting it, and the majority of the day ended up focusing on TQs. So I decided to cut it because the market immediately had a nice pop, and even though it dropped again, it found another leg up, and I really wanted to cut it once I saw the market broke above this blue EMA line here, because it's no longer validating the signs that it wants to downtrend, right? It's not using this blue EMA line here as a rejection anymore. It broke above it again, so it's looking like it could be a change of patterns. Excuse me. So that's why I wanted to start cutting my trade on SQs and going with the direction again, which is TQs, right? This was a strong candle. And how did I end up losing money on TQs, right? Even though it pushed up, it ended up being, as you guys will notice, very, very unfortunate. But I ended up getting stopped out at 9:12, right? And if you guys will look at the charts, as NQ started to push up, I bought in with a quarter. And as it broke this resistance line right around here, I decided to average in with another quarter, right? And I ended up having to, because I averaged up, bring my stop loss a little tighter. And if you guys will notice, 912 is literally right here. I saw the market starting to fizzle out a bit, right? Not want to continue these higher highs. and it started to look like it was going to get rejected off this blue EMA line here. And I literally had my stop set below this support right here. And unfortunately, it ended up stopping me out, I think to the penny at the bottom here. And I didn't even end up noticing, like I said earlier in the video, until I got home now. Because I was at work, I didn't pay attention to the NASDAQ. But it ended up just soaring, you know, which is an absolute bummer. Because I was in TQs and did not get to write any of this up, right? This is huge margin. This is 1.3%. That's pretty decent. And TQQQ is a triple leveraged ETF, which means it's going to be around 3 times as volatile as the NASDAQ, right? So that means this offered a lot more margin, right? If I can get it to work, right? Over 3% from the highs up here. So that could have been definitely a very nice trade, but I can't be mad at myself because at the end of the day, I did manage my risk. And if the market were to have continued to sell off aggressively, which is not out of the question, right? But given, if you look at the charts, how much it has pushed up, it's actually insane to look at it, right? The market has been very bullish, especially since right around this period, 5-24-23, right? Just last month, it hasn't even been anything, you know, it hasn't been any time period too long and the market has already gapped up tremendously. So it's just something to watch out for. I think, in my opinion, the market is overbought because it gapped up so much so aggressively, but you definitely have to respect the pattern because the pattern is continuously looking bullish, and on top of that, it's just showing no signs of slowing down, right? It's doing a great job of staying above this EMA line by a decent amount even. So just something to pay attention to, right? The market is still bullish. It can look overbought all at once, but if it wants to keep going, it's gonna be in my best interest to go with the flow, right? And I'll keep getting TQQQ. So yeah, like I said, today was unfortunate, but definitely happy with how I was able to manage my risk. And because I only bought in with a quarter, I avoided a lot of this choppiness where I really would have definitely got wrecked, I think, earlier. I would have been quick to send the play, let's say, on TQs and averaged up aggressively, only to end up getting faked out a few times. That's what would have ended up happening to me if I wasn't so patient, right? And I waited to average up until it made sense, and it never really made great sense to me. So I was only in lightly today, right? And I was able to manage my risk. So thank you guys so much. I was happy with how today played out, and I hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure to comment a question down below if you guys have any. I'm definitely happy to answer, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Take care.